Hello and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave and I'll be your keeper of arcane lore to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave and I'll be your keeper of arcane lore to the... There we go, got it. Had the window open, another tab. So today we are continuing our playthrough of Hoist the Two-Headed Serpent, and you can get your own copy of the campaign over at chaosium.com. We do collect all of the VODs over on the Chaosium YouTube channel. And if you're watching there, we stream live each Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific on Twitch. I want to give a thank you to Roll20 and Sirenscape for being great tools which we use to improve our game. And an even greater thank you to Roll20 for making Alex fumble like 6 rolls in a row last week. So cheers, glad you got the money, cash is in the mail, etc. We return now to the lost continent of Mu, and more specifically, the giant volcano that dominates the center of the map. Atop it is the citadel of Yadith Go, and now our heroes strive to ascend it. 2 of them are in a plane, practically flying up towards it. They'll have a short window where they're not noticed, but then the laser fire will begin to focus on them. A third hero is underneath it currently, held onto a sort of a improvised bay for storing cargo and extremely dangerous explosive devices. And the fourth and final hero is scrambling up the side of the mountain, completely devoid of skin and luck. We'll do a hurdle around the table and everyone can reintroduce your heroes with the context of this may be the last voyage. Art, would you like to begin?
That's not bad. Hi, I'm Art. I'm playing Lieutenant Ares Carter, also known as, I don't know, Snake Ares at this point. I'm not the one that lost their skin recently, but I did lose it a while ago, and I'm currently in like a hybrid combat form.
Hell yeah!
So lots of scales, couple of talons, a little bit of fang, you know. I want to say still with relatively luscious hair, because that is kind of part of the character art, and I'm rather fond of that. But definitely, like, you know, there is a more serpentine torso underneath the jacket as opposed to the usual like neatness. Yeah, they have a bomb on their lap. They are not afraid to yeet both it or themselves with it, should the need rise.
Or if even just the opportunity comes up, honestly. You're looking for a chance to chuck that thing. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, terrific. Up next, and flying the dangerous machine, Jackson.
Hey, I'm Jackson, and I'm playing Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson, who is doing just fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. How are you?
Is it directed at the audience?
Yeah,
everyone
I guess so.
Chat.
Anyone could have answered, but that's fine. Yeah, no, everything's been leading up to this. We ended up where we're always going to end up, I guess. Bomb that can destroy us all.
Yeah.
Volcano on another continent.
Yeah.
Sleeping god, etc. You know.
In a different dimension. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
No, but everything's just worked out fine up till now, so should be right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Something to do, isn't it? It's a Sunday.
It's something to do. It's something to do. Right. Yeah. Lazy Sunday.
Terrific. All right, and now Jim.
Yes, I am Jim. I'm playing Hubert, the big man with a big heart, who finally has got to fly in the plane. Whee! It's all ended well. This is the natural, point of my character arc. I've taken to the skies, and I'm pretty happy to end here. If you're good with that, Dave, so we don't actually have to. Nah, okay, I gave it a shot. All right, well then let's go into the volcano and do the best we can.
Hell yeah. And finally, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Wilhelmina St. Clair. And thank you very much, Keeper. I don't have no luck. I just failed my luck roll. Thank you very much.
You had stacks.
Because I had no luck.
So guaranteed fail.
Can't roll below 0.
Important
I also don't think I have any skin. And I suspect I do have some hair, like a couple of tufts that just kind of slipped through the pores.
Oh, hell yeah, that's worse.
Came up, yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Is hair in your skin? Is it under it? Seems like a...
It's subdermal.
Yeah.
Your hair is...
We'd have to find out what part of the skin, yeah.
If it's gone all the way down to muscle, no. You don't have hair because that's grown out of follicles in like your epidermis, I think it's called.
I think it's subdermal.
Come for me.
I googled it, and one of those little Google "Are you okay?" things popped up.
No, Google, I'm not.
No, we're not.
I think a little bit of hair is actually weirdly worse than no hair as far as horrifying images. So yes, I think you absolutely have a few.
Very much. The image I have in my head is Star Wars Episode 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just with slightly more limbs and slightly less fury.
I have all of those.
But definitely determination.
Hey,
I don't know, maybe at this point you hate everything? I'm not sure.
The day is young. We can lose a limb.
I nailed that sanity roll.
Yeah. 100%.
It's like when you see a creepy bug and then you go, oh no, it can jump, and everything is worse.
Really? Is that worse than going, oh, there's a spider when you're in the shower and then you turn around and you're like, I can't see it
And
anymore.
I've lost it. Yeah.
Well,
no.
there's both of those because they're like, oh, there's a mini. It's gone. You know?
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, let's park Minnie wherever she is.
I just looked at my notes and it just says mini skin off.
Yeah.
We did a whole thing of Skin Off St. Clair, I think was where it landed at.
Skin Off St. Clair.
Yeah, Skin Off St. Clair.
Yeah.
All right,
That tested well, yeah.
We'll park Skin Off St. Clair, scrambling up the side of the mountain like the horror creature that she is, and return to our other protagonists who have successfully gotten the flying machine ready to depart. You've got the half-terrain device stowed and Hubert underneath it. You received a note from Minnie saying that you're going to have to... The only point that the flying machine can enter is underneath the citadel, and basically you have to fly through the volcano. I think there was then an added sorry, and then no direction as to where Minnie was going to be or how she was going to get access. Now, as you all strap in, and unless there's any other preparations you want to do, you will find that Lancer continues with you and then soon begins to lose his little mind once again as you approach the volcano. Art, was there anything you wanted to clarify?
Oh, how long did we spend poodling down a river? Was it like a couple of days?
You joined them. No, it's still same day for this section. Oh no, that's true. It'd been like a day, so you can heal a day's worth of hitty points if that's what you're after.
Is it two? Yes, that is what I'm asking. Because if everyone was here for a while,
I can't remember. I think it's 2.
Okay,
2,
well,
and then we'll figure out the rest later.
Right. I'm not on full, but I'm not far off. That'll do. Yes, that's all I wanted to check.
Okay.
Meant to check before the stream started. Got distracted because I didn't have a coffee yet.
All Gucci. All right, everyone straps in, and you begin to fly towards the volcano. Now, they're currently in the midst of a fray, although timing-wise, this is probably just when Minnie's turning back to go and deal with Rose. So yeah, the others are beginning to ascend up. Minnie elsewhere doing many things, and you begin to climb up towards the side of it. Now, as long as you stay on the far side, you won't be seen by them. They basically don't have a line of sight on you, and they've got no chance of noticing the flying machine. You can also fly functionally silently by relying on the levitating, telesphere things. But as you get closer, you'll need to swing around. That's actually no longer true. If you're intending to just go straight up and under, you could just remain in the hidden side of it the entire time and never be seen. But if you want to try and squeeze through the open strut that you identified earlier, you would have to come into view and go through it.
I think the note says that we're not going for the strut, so it's we can stay hidden the whole way.
I think we're looking for the shortest route, right, to get to the central part of the temple.
All right, rock and roll.
We're gonna see if there's like a swoop in and up the pooper if it has one.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Yeah. Have a scan. Yeah, 100%. I think this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so,
I wasn't gonna say that everything was tainted by this run, but now I am.
I had no other words available to me other than, I mean, it's got 4 legs and like
5.
3? 5 legs, and then, the central body, and then how you describe the underneath, the central part of the body in the middle of the 5 legs.
Belly button.
So, yeah, weird face and belly button. Which one is your belly button face?
That's a private question.
It is. I apologize.
Also, I'm pretty sure the belly button doesn't have ingress to the rest of the body. Like,
you go fucking hard enough, it does.
You go fucking hard enough in any part of the body, you'll get it. Like, that's
Yeah,
skin
but-
isn't very.
Straight on till Christmas.
Oh yeah, but the belly button is like the Death Star weak spot. It's like a vulnerability.
Yeah.
You gotta.
No, it's fully a healed part of your body. Like it's just skin, like the rest of it.
So is
All right,
Minnie not have
I'm
a
making
belly
notes.
Huh?
button? Sorry. Welcome back to Orifice chat.
Ew.
Let's move on.
I hate that. Now that image is there, and I'm going to kind of ponder it. Okay, ignoring that and striking it from the record, the three of you
Yes, because it
approach.
goes all the way into your stomach. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's worse. As you start getting closer to the volcano itself, you all begin to feel the waves of sort of almost freezing terror that run through, the mind, eyes start darting, fingertips get cold, muscles begin to almost feel as though they're seizing up as you approach the mountain. Similar to what Minnie experienced, Lance begins to go apeshit. At first he was flying alongside, and then as you're getting closer, he will basically get right in your view, Sam, and try and basically... He's not gonna. It's not like attacking you, but he is like biting at your, your hands, trying to very clearly
Turn around.
And you've had the, that sort of like how telepathic am I with this creature? How much can I converse? He currently Lancet is having that problem to try and figure out just how much he can get across.
Roger
Do
that.
not approach this thing. That is the worst feeling he has ever had, and he desperately does not want to get closer.
I'm gonna lock eyes with him and, do the little bit of the pulp talent animal companion limited telepathic communication. Go, it's gonna be all right, buddy. We're all good. We're all here together. And as soon as things get bad, we're gonna turn around, and I'm gonna try to grab him and bundle him into my jacket.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Whereas, with Minnie, there's still that level like he wanted to get it back to you, but with you, this is where he feels safest, so you can kind of jam into the jacket.
Has he got a little hood? Have you got a little falcon hood for him? Do you want to pull his little hood on so he thinks it's nighttime and he goes to sleep?
Heck yeah. That's what birds do.
He's probably not going to go to sleep,
oh, nighttime.
But
no, but they do. Like you put the hood on and they're like,
limit a couple seconds.
nighttime,
just chill.
nighttime, probably nighttime.
Yeah, 100%. Limiting the senses is a good idea. So as you begin to approach and climb up the side of it, you can see the sort of gashes of ash flooding out from it, lava beginning to billow down. Sam, you're pretty focused on your flying, but Lieutenant Carter and Mr. Smith, can I get you to each make spot hidden rolls? You just scan the area and keep tabs on things.
Okay. Coming right up. Fail on me.
So,
Did
Hubert, you're mostly focusing on not falling out of this very precariously built structure, and you're still not 100% sure it can support your weight. There's been a couple bits break off down here, and you didn't want to bring that to anyone else's attention because you felt bad about breaking it, but you're like just trying to stay on it. Lieutenant Carter, you're around the further side, but you can see this sort of edge of the angle where the fray is happening on the extreme. There is something scurrying up the crevices, like darting between sections, holding down low, and then rushing towards the next part of rock where it can stay obscured from everything else. Your tactical mind would identify that this is definitely avoiding line of sight with the battle. It could be an attempt by the Serpent persons to like have someone sneak around the fight and then get in while no one's looking. You're
Definitely
unsure, but from here at distance, it appears to be a small, charred, blackened figure with kind of like sort of glistening pearls of like red muscle and things all along the back, and a couple of just juts out of nasty singed hair.
rifle scope?
Okay, all right. You get the rifle scope and begin to aim down at it, honing in. Not elsewhere. Looking down the scope at the thing.
Yeah.
Minnie, as you're moving your way up the side of the volcano, you would see the flying machine go past. You sort of hide away from line of sight of the Serpent person battle on the other side. You don't necessarily know that they're looking towards you, but do you try to wave towards them, try and give them any signal as to who or where you're going?
Or what you are?
I think can I make a spot hidden and just see if I can see like light glinting off the scope and...
Yeah, make a spot hidden roll.
Whether or not I see them will determine how I...
Yeah, you can definitely see the flying machine.
Yeah. But whether or not I see, like, they're looking...
Yeah, I get you.
Oh, whether we're looking at you.
Minnie!
No.
It's coming back! Yeah, you
Curse
see...
is broken.
You see that and all of it. You can also, I'd say with the critical, you can possibly spot...
adrenaline.
You can possibly spot it's not perfect, but there is a section of like a small plateau of rock that rises out where, given the flying machine now has the capacity to sort of hover, they could get low enough for you to attempt a boarding if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave at the glinting thing. That I'm assuming is Eris's scope. Aware that I look hideous. Pointing to the platform. Then a shrug.
How do you tell them who you are? What can you do you look monstrous in the nicest possible way?
I think I don't have any on my shoe.
Nope.
My headcanon is that the reason you crit the spot hidden shot is because you don't have eyelids.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
You give it the friendliest wave you can. All right.
Hello.
Carter.
And then point to the platform, and I think it's like the shrug. I think the shrug is a very mini kind of gesture.
It.
But she's just like...
I'm gonna be like, well, my psychology is base. My intelligence is 90. If you want me to roll, I can.
No. You've seen some cook shit. You're gonna figure it out. You're looking through the scope at this thing as you're moving, and at first you generally probably default would be, this is a hostile creature. This is some sort of horrible monstrosity. As you click in closer on the rifle, you can see it is newly revealed flesh. Like you can see the muscles that knot all along it and little beads where it's blackened from the ash beginning to stick together. The hands that come up are seared from the side of the wall, and rocks and gravel have all stuck inside it. And as Minnie tries to give like a relatively friendly wave, but then a shrug, you identify her. And I'm also going to ask you to make a sanity roll as you see what has become of your friend.
So it's like you hang out with someone long enough, you get to know all their gestures. So it's like you've seen that wave and you've seen that shrug.
It's the shrug.
Okay.
It's not a fumble.
It's not. It's going to be a D3.
Okay.
What are we worried about here? Do we get a... When was our starting sanity? Like, it should have reset at the start of today, right?
Yeah, you can reset it for today's jaunt.
Yeah. So I probably haven't lost any sanity recently, so I'll reset it to my current. Unless I have. Have I? It's the last time I lost sanity.
I don't think so. Not yet. From here, you can see the sort of landing point that Minnie is gesturing to.
Good. I will indicate to Sam, take us down in the direction of the landing platform. I believe we're going to recover Miss Sinclair. Word of warning. She's not in the best of state, so do prepare yourselves for a rather unpleasant sight. And when we get somewhere slightly less aerial, Sam, you might want to get...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope you have an awful lot of burn cream.
Yeah, I mean...
And also maybe some spare skin.
Spare skin?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little bit of a patch-up job. I'm sure I can handle that. No worries. Let's get down.
Be aware, it's not a pretty sight, but it is Miss Sinclair. Definitely.
Roger that.
I don't know if warning people about a terrible thing helps with the shock of seeing a terrible thing, but I'm hoping that at least like I can prepare them a little for like mostly what I'm trying to do is not necessarily save them from a sanity hit, but saving Minnie from the sanity of having all of her friends go, ah! Like that's more I think what I'm trying to avoid. Huh?
Okay.
Or attacking me as a horrible creature.
Essentially, it's more protecting Minnie from having to go through any more than what she has clearly gone through. And Eris is like,
That's right.
happen to like these people. Don't tell them.
So
the worst possible outcome would be if Hubert went, I prefer coconut Minnie.
I was gonna say,
At least
Sam,
Minnie's got hair.
Sam, you
At this
bring
point, it'd be fair.
you bring the ship down. All right.
Yes, we
Hubert,
do. Well, yeah, if it looks like a safe spot and there's
relatively, yeah.
baddies
relatively.
nearby. We're still like halfway up the mountain, is that right?
Yeah, probably honestly only probably like a third of the way up. You've got the bulk of it still.
Okay,
to,
all right.
Still to
Well,
head up.
all right.
Well,
Hubert, from your perspective, the ship starts, the flying machine starts going down prematurely, and then as you're moving into land, you look over and there's a fucking monster scrambling towards you over the road. The flying machine is very wind going, ash and stuff. Unless you
there's
yell
no way I can
it.
like I can yell down at him to try and be like at least to get across Miss Sinclair at a minimum, so that he knows that it's not something to attack, but. If it's too loud, it's too loud.
No, you can. You can get the message across. You lean over and sort of like slap at one of his arms, which is holding the edge of it, and you're able to just hit. You can see about Miss St. Clair, and now Hubert, when you look across, is a fucking monster running at you. You will be able to identify her as St. Clair, but the shock of seeing her is still fairly startling, and I will ask you to make a sanity roll.
That's fair enough. Yeah, this is... Oh, hard success. Okay.
That wasn't a reflection on your plan. That was a reflection on how Dave wants to bully GM at all times. Let's be clear.
And Alex a little bit by. This is great. I'm getting 2 for in each of these. It rules.
Yeah. Oh, I'm fully aware. I know what I say is always like, hey, this is my plan, but plan never survives first contact with Dave,
the GM.
Which is why we bully him relentlessly.
What the fuck?
It all comes out in the wash.
Someone's losing their skin today. And only 2 of you have it left, so I'm not telling her.
I mean, I was going to be like, if that's a threat at me, I've already lost it.
You could always lose it.
You can lose it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what snakes do. They lose it and they lose it.
And then they come back and then lose it and then goes away.
Hubert, how do you react? You're not going to take a sanity hit.
I don't. I'm still a little loopy, I think. So there's a moment of like, oh, this is all my fault. I broke the mini coconut, and now look what's happened. But I kind of no reaction for a second, and then plastered on big smile, no reaction, get on, kind of thing. And because I know we're still kind of moving quick, so I make no acknowledgement apart from freezing for a few seconds, and then we'll deal with this later kind of approach.
Hi, Hubert. I know. It's bad.
I couldn't tell. Look, get in. We don't have much time. I'll help you clamber up, sort of not really knowing.
I'm really damp. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're gonna have to figure out how to. We're gonna be very heavy for this thing.
We'll have to stop for a little bit and see what I can do with my bag of tricks.
Well, I don't weigh very much.
As you say that, Sam, part of it, one thing is the ship can't necessarily... you can't really land it fully at the moment because of what you've got underneath it. Additionally, something strange has happened, or it's happening. As you go to land, your reactions are a little bit slower than what you normally have. You've probably flown in like extreme cold weather environments before, and you can begin to feel like when the cold begins getting into your bones and you like stretch them out and really focus in, everything's a little bit slowed and numbed and things. And you begin to feel it getting worse the longer you're in this area. Can you give me a piloting roll for this descent and pickup and just see how long this is all going to take?
Well, that's weird.
I'm picturing that
straight down the middle.
Okay. Straight down the middle. You're all right. As you get down and begin to pull it back up, I need everyone to make and I believe it's a constitution roll. One quick clarification point. Yes, everyone please make a constitution roll with a bonus dice. And Hubert, you have 2 bonus dice because of your ability.
I don't need it.
Hey.
Well, the pilot is definitely staying conscious. That's the good news.
Did anyone fail?
You get 2. Have you rolled both of your bonus dice?
Sorry, I do have the extra die.
You have the second one. I did, but I failed by 6, so I will spend 6 points of luck to mitigate that, if that's okay.
It's yes, and I would suggest you do. Carter, you like flag Mini down, and you're kind of running on adrenaline, and it's enough to be overpowering things. And then you start to feel this, like, it's not cold coming in. It's like the blood in your muscles is beginning to turn to stone or calcify inside it with like salts, and you actually can physically feel your things like constricting as you struggle to move through them. But you're able to like warm yourself up, keep pumping, and pull them away. And as another wave of dread rolls down from the volcano with the ash that comes with it, you realize the closer you get to this thing, it's not just mind-bending horror, it's also a physical revulsion as your body rebels against you in its mere presence. And per Mini's current strategy, you're going to fly right past it and up the butthole of the citadel.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
It's in the book. I'm just reading what it says.
Oh, there you go.
My physiology is a little different now than it used to be.
It be.
And there's no differentiator between like the physiology of, it's just universally
Bad.
I don't think this is a like humans shouldn't be here. I think this is a organisms shouldn't be here. Okay.
Specifically in the like just underneath the around the volcano. Yeah, absolutely. You felt like, now that you think about it, like you had a little bit of it as you got closer. This is also presumably part of why not only defensive, but another reason why the citadel is kept slightly out of phase. What's inside is presumably protected from this effect, as it's not really in this reality.
So it's logical to assume that if we can get inside and the phase defenses are still moderately active because we haven't taken out another strut, etc., that this effect will be less severe once we're inside.
One can only hope, but yes.
Or it'll get stronger because we're inside.
Well,
by the way,
it sounds like it's not coming from the citadel, it's coming from what's in the volcano.
It's absolutely the volcano.
So, and the citadel is, we've established, getting caught out of phase for defensive purposes. So, yeah, the assumption is if it's out of phase, say like half the time, then we have this effect is going to be reduced by 50%.
I don't want me to find out.
Yeah, essentially.
Dave, what do I get for that crit? Dave, what do you get? What do you give me for that crit? I got a crit. Get a bonus die in the next one?
What'd you get a crit for?
Oh, I felt like it.
Second crit of the session.
You
still
dog.
maintaining the insane rolls.
Give me a bonus die in the next one?
I tell you what.
Yeah, what? What, Dave?
You're
What do you
about
got
to
for me?
fly up and under this thing, and presumably there's a good chance you're going to want to do it with your eyes closed. This is, I guess, this is you limbering up, getting ready to go, and jamming down on the throttle. Is the plan to go ahead?
I probably would have like said to Sam, the faster we can do this, the better. Go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, don't fucking worry about safety. Like, as in, worry about not dropping anyone, preferably, but like, don't take it easy.
Yeah, no,
Just go. We don't want to be here longer than we have to be. We need to get inside now.
This is a Death Star run. No,
Yeah.
I'm
No
on
stopping.
extreme success as well, just for reference, Dave.
Hell
so,
yeah. All right.
yeah.
You're both good. With the crit, yes, Sam will give you a bonus on the next one as well as you keep things going. And I think genuinely it's probably a level like, cold weather environments, you're able to sort of force your way
I've done
through.
this before.
Maintain.
I think if this feels like cold weather environment, Ares, like almost subconsciously kind of begins to just like curl up into a bit of like a fetal position and like starts to have a nap because I'm a
Hibernate.
fucking snake.
You're going up to a volcano. It's hot and humid as shit. With
Okay.
rolling ash around it. It's just the things freeze, like as your muscles turn to stone around you, is the most similar to it. I mean, it's also the opposite. Keeping yourself moving, keeping the blood from being able to pause and calcify seems to be the only thing you can do for now. All right. There are gonna be two rolls as you attempt this. The first, Sam, is you breaking out the overside and beginning the final run towards as you go over. As you get this close, you'll presumably be within range of the turrets and defenses of the citadel. So if you could go ahead and give me a piloting roll, that will determine how shot at you are.
Well, heck.
Straight shot. Let's go.
Hard success. That's
He's
how it's
good.
done, baby.
You
I'm good.
skirt over the edge of it, and almost immediately the turrets swivel on like sort of invisible gyroscopes inside the citadel, and a couple of laser beams fire out across it, being able to twist it. It does like a cool thing where Hubert in the cage underneath it, one goes through one bar, out the other one as it arcs behind, and then you over the side and begin to plummet into the volcano as you desperately try to heave up on its skirt as low under the citadel as you can so that you can get inside and avoid witnessing what lurks underneath. Now, everyone is going to need to make, Sam excluded, yours is going to change a little bit. Minnie, Carter, and Hubert all need to make power rolls for me as you go over this to attempt to avoid glimpsing what is below.
Oh.
Oh.
Dun.
I've got the power.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Oh.
Very nice. That's how it's done.
That's
two
three
extreme successes and a standard success.
Okay. Go ahead and make standing
this
rolls,
kind of
but
thing
this is
before,
a
Dave.
limited experience as you basically squeeze your eyes shut, grip onto the side of it, feel the waves of this thing coming off, but do not directly
I don't have
perceive it.
eyelids.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
true.
like eyelids have,
Hands over your
because you
eyes.
have to be able to blink. Eyelids have muscles in them.
I don't think you have eyelids. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's that raw red. Also, as clouds of dust and ash get into it, you probably just cover it with your hands. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Or we have strands of muscles that do like line things
It's like
across.
strands. It's
like
not.
bars.
So you can still like kind of you get the like Dutch angle
half-lidded.
film noir effect all the time.
Yeah.
If everyone can go ahead. If the three of you can please make sanity rolls.
There are indeed muscles in the eyelid. They don't do a lot, but it is muscle.
Oh boy.
Can we luck the sanity and pulp? I always forget.
Sanity.
You
You can spend the luck to
however much
reduce the amount
sanity-
you're going to take.
So whatever sanity you would take, double it, and that's the amount of luck you have to spend to then halve the sanity you take.
Okay,
Perfect.
well, it's going to be a D10 for everyone that failed, and just a point for Minnie, who succeeded.
Oh.
I've had worse today.
You have.
That is.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Two big
Go.
you
hits.
could spend 16 to take 4 instead of 8.
Okay. All right.
And I would spend 10 to take 2 or 3.
Always round down.
Round it down. Have to do it in your favor.
I don't desperately want to. I don't love
5
spending
is
10
enough that
points.
you'll make an intelligence roll against a bout. Is
Oh
the only
well,
concern.
you know.
And you'll probably succeed that, so you're getting that
Yeah.
bout.
Yeah, it is only about.
You're in about as you're in a flying machine going skimming over the surface of.
About what?
You're also holding the Haftarang device, so you know.
I am.
do
Yeah.
you decide what you want to do.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I
look,
will
literally
spend
anybody
10.
else?
Yeah. Yeah. I will. I'll spend 10, so I'll take 2. Yeah.
Okay, noted. Mr. Smith.
All right. I spend 16, which means I go down to 4.
Yeah.
Which means I do not take a bout of madness, although I do go indefinitely insane because I have.
Okay. All right. Holy shit.
We got it tied into coconuts, right?
Okay. We'll circle back down to you, but the three of you, so as you go over the edge, even closing your eyes, gripping onto the edge, focusing inwards on your own heartbeat, you can feel another one much larger as yours begins to speed up rapidly. There's this thundering boom of whatever sleeps below as its heart resonates through you, rises up in waves past. You can feel your feet first, and then your extremities begin to turn just stone in terror as the sleeping god underneath exhales its stench, and these sort of tentacles on the edges of it begin to rise up completely unconsciously and sort of surround around the outside of the flying machine. It fully sucks.
Good.
Now, Sam, yours is a little
Hi.
different. You can't really close your eyes because you
I'm
got
just
to fly
looking-
this damn machine.
I'm just looking for the butthole.
Okay, so you can make your piloting roll with a penalty dice if you'd like in order to minimize the perception, or you can just do a straight piloting roll. However, you are going to bear witness to what exists below.
I think
This-
I can
And I'm going to
take
note
that.
this is beginning at a hard for finding where you need to go.
Yeah, I do not need that penalty die in my life.
Okay. Straight
I can't
roll.
take the sanity hit.
Okay. Go ahead
I
and
say aloud.
roll the piloting roll first, and then we'll do the sanity. He's good.
Ooh, 1 point for an extreme. Because I will get you.
Do I need extreme, Dave?
You've got it with a hard. You don't need the extreme.
Right.
You go for rocketing over the side of it, the laser fires ring out, and you begin to careen towards this thing. You can see a section where a vent lowers down and is almost like drawing in the plumes of smoke from the volcano below, and you begin to aim towards it. As you get lower, you can't descend too far because the heat, let alone the god inside it, is roasting Minnie and Hubert underneath. So you begin to swing the plane around instead, almost pulling in as an angro, and then so you can head up. And as you do, you can't help but glimpse down.
Just a little glimpse.
There
look never hurt
is
anyone.
a mass inside the volcano. It takes you a moment to see where it is because it exists throughout its entirety. It is immense, almost beyond comprehension, and huge eyes stay open even in its sleep, and you can see milky white eternities inside them where stars and things blink in and out of existence. It has innumerable mouths which rend through the entire creature, and where they open up, you can see the plumes of ash coming out from it, and its fingers or its like tendrils squeeze around the outside the volcano, and you can see them almost subconsciously rising up and around, up and towards you. Can you please make a sanity roll?
Ooh, little old me?
Little old you.
I can't roll poorly.
Holy shit.
Has this been like 2 sessions of just like straight fire?
I will say
dice?
that's a pretty good roll for you. You are still going to take a D10 on a success as you have
D10?
witnessed
Outrageous.
Gatonothwa,
You have
the
witnessed the
Lord
god that
of the
ends the world.
volcano.
Oh my
hold on.
god.
Oh, so this isn't even one we've seen before. This is
Is a
some
freshie.
new guy. Ooh, all right. 1d10. Here it goes. 6.
Now that
Looks like a 6. I'll spend 12 to make it 3.
okay, all right.
I can do maths.
I guess
75 points
not
of
many
luck.
can claim they've glimpsed one of these gods, even in slumber. And
even fewer can say they've done it while flying a plane over it
100%.
and lives to tell the tale.
You can also feel there is a vibe that this fucking thing gives off, and it is
vibe?
loathsome hate. There is, even in slumber, this thing is evil emanation, and you are keenly aware that should it ever be woken, it would seek the destruction of everything that exists around it, and then begin to push further and seek to destroy that which is without as well. Really just nasty stuff.
Wait, so I've lost track a little bit. This isn't the thing that the bad guys are trying to wake up, is it?
No. Although they are looking to trigger detonation throughout volcanoes throughout the area. No, this would probably ruin them as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so
Their best friend is Cithalgua.
So
yeah, that's what I thought.
The
That's the
Inner
inner
Knight,
knight.
Cithalgua, and
Yig is
the other one.
Serpents. Catasaurus.
So we really got no business with this thing. It's just a neighbor.
Just a friend.
Let's just not.
Yeah.
Right?
Best
I mean,
not.
I was still technically planning on throwing a half-throwing device at this thing and hoping that would do the trick, but you know.
You can chuck it.
I am now
It'll do
less
a
convinced.
trick.
Having seen that thing, I'm less convinced that's a sound idea. That's just me.
I wonder if setting the half-strength device off in the citadel and having that, if it's out of phase, I guess it wouldn't do anything to the volcano. If it's in phase, it might collapse into the volcano, but there's no guarantee that would be enough to wake it up. Like, would you wake up if, a pebble dropped on your head and then dissolved in lava? I'm not sure you would.
Well, the other thing with the half-turn device is it is the presence of another god. Something else horrible. So would you wake up
That's
if your younger brother came and dropped a
Make
pebble
them
on your
fight.
head?
Probably not.
But
No,
I wouldn't.
it's like, probably hear each other. It's probably like, oh, hey.
It does
oh
also
God.
depend on how long we leave it open for. If it's open for a split second, probably not. If it's open for the 10 minutes, yeah.
us
You want
not.
to toy with waking up the god? You go right
Yes,
ahead.
I do. Dave, yes, I do. I want to wake up.
You drop that
I
thing.
want a god fight.
We will end this world and the next.
God, thank
I don't
God.
want to, as opposed to I want to fight God. No, I want a god fight.
This Sunday. Pay-per-view.
Hey, actually,
worldwide
Jax, I'm
god fight.
gonna walk back that extreme not doing anything for the piloting roll. If you want to spend that Uno point, because you're all gonna make Constitution rolls as you go up and under and in the presence of this thing, that will give everyone a bonus dice on this one as well as you skim along the surface, speed towards the entrance. And
Extreme success.
Nicely done. All right, everyone go ahead and make one more Constitution roll. Hubert, you've got 2 bonus dice, and Dr. Sam, you've also got 2 bonus dice. Okay, Minnie's good.
And Minnie and I'd have 1 bonus. Minnie and Aries have 1
What
bonus.
is this
Sorry, I
wall
just
of
rolled-
brain
I rolled
nonsense?
Hubert's.
This sucks. What if you
Whatever.
fail?
Hard success.
Okay, nicely done. Yes, yes, Sam, yes.
No,
God
11
damn it,
extreme.
You dog. Yeah.
It was that last bonus die as well.
Yeah, I know.
Funny, dude. Thank you, Dave.
That is literally 3 hard successes and an extreme.
He's given this.
Nicely
Dave's problem. He gives
done.
out too many bonus dice, then complains about it. If we do well. He is an enigma. He is a walking contradiction.
You'll never know. You'll never know. Okay, you're able to skirt along the surface of this slumbering god. Dr. Sam fully perceives it for a moment, but still maintains his flying machine. Whizzes along it and, dipping just under the vent, suddenly punches up and out the other side. For a brief moment, all 4 of you are completely enveloped in swirling ash. It burns your nose. It is steaming hot. Meaning you can begin to feel it coating your entirety of your skin as you squeeze it. And also because, again,
Kind of better, actually.
if you have eyelids, they're very heavily compromised. You're fully covering over it to stop you doing. And as you begin to reach out towards Hubert, Hubert, do you want to go ahead and roll a d10 to see what state you're in as you come out of this?
So I'm just going to confirm that I did indeed go insane. Make sure I didn't misunderstand it.
Yeah, run the math on that one.
So 23 sanity, losing 4. I tried to halve it, can't. So I halved it to 4.
Yeah. I think
started
4
on
is
23?
okay. I think 5 is your indefinite presently.
It rounds down, right? So it will be.
I can't
You started on
remember.
23?
I'm
Yeah.
on 23, and what's
Yeah.
a fifth of 23? It's 4 because it's
4.
not 5.
You're right then. That's
So and I
indefinite.
lost 4. Therefore, I've lost a fifth of my sanity.
Hell yeah,
But
indefinite time.
it's within the line, but I think it's still it counts as a.
I think so too.
Yep.
And it's close
Easy.
enough for
Okay,
me.
so
All right, go
let's
ahead
roll.
and make roll a d10 for us.
3.
And let's have a little.
Which, if I know my, if we're using the standard rules table as something, let's hope we're using the pulp one.
Oh shit, dude. It's the one you think it is.
Is there a pulp one or no?
There is. There
it's
is.
the-
I'm looking at it. It is rage, and
Yeah.
a red mist descends.
Yes!
So,
Does it? But what's his pulp? What's his pulp good thing? What's his pulp?
Pulp good thing
his
is you get- you
insane
get to-
talent.
go ahead and roll a d20.
All right, here we go.
Unless you only get that for temporary.
No. You get
16.
Insane
Good one.
hearing. You get a bonus dice for listen rolls. So Hubert,
Oh, that's lame.
as you
That's
it's
great.
gonna work
No,
for
I
this
can
one.
hear all the squelching and the.
As you descend it, as you go under it, and you can feel this thing coming through in waves. You've got your eyes closed. You can, again, as I said, like you can feel your own heartbeat, and then you extend it out, and you can hear the roar and the twists and grunts from the thing underneath. You go through ash, and for a moment, it's mercilessly enveloped in silence. But then you can pick up another heartbeat closer to yours, going faster, and then you feel a hand on your arm as Minnie squeezes it instinctively, and all you know is violence. What do you want to do?
Perfect. I could attack Minnie, but I have a way to achieve that goal and all of my goals at once.
sounds
I
good.
think that in the best focusing of this mindless rage, it does come from the presence of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've wrestled big things before. This has to
Lord.
die. I'm already holding on to this plane. I think I suddenly like jump and try to wrench down the plane because I know we have a bomb on board, and we are going to head straight into this and bullseye it.
Hell
Would be my
yes.
thought.
Can you go ahead and give me a strength roll, Hubert, to try and shake this plane and bring it down, get it to descend?
Absolutely.
As you go up the inside, skirting the inside of the vent, Hubert wrenches the whole thing down and then actually tries to grab onto the side of the thing as you skirt past it. Sam, suddenly the whole thing shakes for a moment, and looking back, you can see a section is caught on it, and as you try and whirl it around, the engines that were doing all right with a brief period in the cloud and begin to die, and it's just the suspension of the like connected psionic bubbles that are holding you aloft for the moment as Hubert wrenches again and the whole plane shudders and drops a few feet. Smoke and ash and things are fuming up around all of you. You can't breathe easily, you can't really see, and the heat is coming off it in waves.
How far are we off the off the temple? Have we spotted like any entrance yet?
You're at the entrance point. You just can't go. You're trying to move up it, but Hubert is actively hauling against it. And as the engines begin to fade, you're trying to get that final ledge. What is everyone doing? Hubert is trying to stop.
I'm going to scream out for Ares. I'm going to. Hubert sabotaging us. He's gone mad.
You yell for Ares, and as you inhale, you get a like wave of this ash. So the only words to get out is a very cough, spluttered. Hubert, you hear all of it as well. You can hear Minnie calling out. You can hear Ares and Sam yelling to one another higher up.
I'm gonna roll my duration because there's a possibility that 8 again. All right, I'm stuck here for a bit.
That's 8 rounds, right?
Yeah, baby.
Heck. I guess I just got to like do everything I can with this plane, whether that's piloting roll or a power roll to like
just fully force it,
slap out. Well, yeah, if the prop's gone down and I'm just flying with the bubble, I'm gonna try to force the bubble unless I can try to fix the
props might have like a tiny bit of power left.
What do I need?
Yeah, they're like currently dying.
Yeah, I need a mechanical repair to like get that going again rather than focus on the bubble.
You can also currently what you're gonna need to do is basically drop, because Hubert stopped you. You've kind of basically missed the entrance point. You're gonna drop down lower and then try and skirt up, basically staying far enough away that Hubert can't grab onto anything or stow your process. Hubert, are you also yelling as well? Like throw the device, kill the thing.
I think I start to yell something, but then my super hearing shuts me down because it hurts my head. So I actually go completely silent, and I'm all like screwed up my face and just trying
to throw this plane out of the sky. Hell yeah! All right,
like a toddler who doesn't want to go to the doctor or something.
Okay, well, Minnie, you yell to Carter. Carter, what are you doing?
I
get the gun out.
I can take Hubert down, but like I don't want to do that.
You also generally you're above it currently. You would have to like scramble out onto one of the wings to even see him, and then there's the ash. Taking him down is actually not necessarily
so instead, we've established I don't have base mechanical repair. I would like to give Sam a bonus dice for whatever he's going to do, in that I will attempt to like get out and as narratively to give him a bonus dice, I will attempt to like kickstart the propellers in some way while he goes and does that. So I will focus on giving Sam a bonus dice for whatever he's about to do to get this plane in.
I'm gonna try and get up into the main bit.
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
Do you want it? You can make a climb roll here, Minnie. It's going to be with a penalty dice because you are in flight and there's ash and things roaring around you. And if you fail this, there is a real risk of you'll be very vulnerable, and then any sort of push or fumble is fully just fall down into the thing.
Do you have any kind of deep, like psychology or like do you have like social skills that you could?
I'm not going to be able to talk him down. I do have pretty good climb though.
Do you want to go for it?
Your last time climbing around lava didn't end up very well.
It didn't, did it?
Alternatively, is there a way that you can convince him that the better thing to do is to bring an entire building down on this thing?
I've got a lot of fast talk. don't know how I can lie him into this though.
Tell him we'll bring the building down. We're not going.
He's angry. Park you there at the moment.
No, yeah.
Then, as we can see, because Sam and Carter, what you're trying to do is, Sam, you like acting on instinct, reach down and just kill all the engines. You don't want it to suck in any more smoke, so everything dies. And then as you lean back, you begin to like cast your mind into the orbs that keep the thing aloft. The plane drops away from it, and Hubert's unable to grab onto anything as he sort of swings onto the side out and stares at his foe beneath. As it does, Carter sort of like breaks, it hits the emergency buckle, skids out, and then with one boot begins to kick on the props to try and get it started. The plane falls backwards towards the god, and there's a as you try and get this started. This is going to be, I think, a mechanical repair roll with a bonus dice. And Sam, you can go ahead and make the roll as Carter assists you.
That's it. So I'm like angling it to get the right kind of angle to get the right speed, right airspeed to get those bursts. I'm like sending my mind out through all the psychic conduits that run around going, oh, yep, that bit's not broken, bypass that, channel the fuel down there, hold that pipe together. And
now,
it's
this
just
is hard
enough.
Racing.
24.
Hard. Nicely
hard.
done. Carter's sort of kicking at the side of it, ash coming off in clouds, and then finally there's a ring, and the props spin into life. It's only a short burst, and you can feel the last ebbs of your flying machine draining away as you slam the throttle forward, and it races up the vent and inside as more clouds go out, and suddenly you punch out the interior of it and emerge into a huge massive sort of it's got a huge machine above it which is taking in the heat and the ash and drawing it upwards. There's a massive vacuum all around it. There's no other vehicles in here because it's not a hangar. It's not where they're supposed to be storing things. It's a vent to draw it inwards, and there's a number of them scattered around. And as you do, the whole machine wrenches, the props begin to die, and it all crashes down on the other side as you skid in for one of your bumpier landings, but also one of your more impossible flying tasks.
Still landing. Still landing.
Anyone you can walk away from.
That's right. A good pilot is one that has the same number of takeoffs and landings.
Hell yeah.
And a good landing is one you walk away from.
You skid to a stop, and the whole thing sort of shears outwards. One of the wings gets pretty badly bent in the process, and the underneath bay that Hugh was hanging on to is sort of twisted and skewed as the two of you go flying sprawled across the landing.
I was thinking it sounds like this thing is not getting us out of here without a lot of work.
Easily, no. But they may have other exit. They may have other devices. Also, flying down this way would be almost impossible as the heat all rises up through it. You basically have to drop a stone and then fly blindly out. Again, possible, maybe, but very, very difficult.
All right. Well, as soon as we hit the ground, I'm gonna say let's bail out. Give Hubert some space. Let's give him some space.
Speaking of which,
oh my god, I'm giving him so much space. I'm scuttling away.
Running away.
He needs a lot of space.
Well, I think I continue to be insane. I stick on my focus. I probably grab the plane and try and carry it back to the place that we went through and throw it down.
Okay, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh no!
You gonna stop that, Sam?
I know. I said as soon as we hit the ground, we gotta bail out and get away from him. Unless I can quickly detach the bomb so that it hits the ground, so that at least he grabs the plane instead of the bomb, and hope it doesn't notice he doesn't have the bomb. He's only got the plane.
Carter's got the bomb.
Carter's got the bomb.
Oh, how big is it? I keep forgetting it. Because I'm imagining
It's like a big box.
I imagine it's like a football.
It's a bit bigger than that, but not ridiculous.
As in, not the box is a football. The bomb is a football, and its inner box it's a little larger than that.
Yeah, gotcha. For some reason, I kept thinking it was like an actual bomb size thing. But
yeah,
no,
it's reason. It's like a.
I have to have been able to throw it without a penalty. Because when I yeeted it, there was no penalty, so it can't be massive.
Getting in the general direction.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
So I assume that it is a decent, it's got heft to it. You have to chuck it, but it's a decent, it's not massive.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, if you separated it, and we hope that Hubert hasn't noticed. Oh man, Hubert's gonna flow my plane into a volcano.
Saturday's gonna throw you into a volcano, so I guess we're
Yeah,
counting victories here.
I'm directing the blind rage as justifiably as I can away from the other party members, but that does mean the plane's getting hit.
No, I think I'm looking at it. It's all bent and broken, shattered, but my friends are clear, and it's not Hubert's fault. I know that. That gives us enough time to like get away, give some space. I think I might have to let him have it.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe like send in a couple more psychic. Hey, see if you can like fly away when you get clear. Just
try and have it hover just underneath.
Out of the crater. No, just like throw itself away from out of the crater, but I'm not gonna be able to see it. I'm not gonna know whether it works.
Down, across, up, out. It's not an easy one. But
yeah.
we can.
We're actually below the crater.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna like let it go so we've got enough time so that by the time Hubert turns around, finds us and catches up with us, then it will have worn off.
You can also genuinely use your own power to resist Hubert's attempts long enough to mete out, give him. You're basically giving something.
Like wrestle.
Yeah, give him something to wrestle with for as long as possible to keep his attention. And then whenever he turns away and goes, right, I'm going to attack something else, it slams into him a bit.
Let's try that.
Okay, sure.
I was already getting ready to say a tearful goodbye, and Dave, you saved me. Thank you.
Damn it.
Pulp talent. Yes, psychic. Just like wrestle.
Go ahead.
Wrestle.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Do it. Make a power roll. We're gonna oppose this with Hubert's strength.
Fantastic. I still got the crown. Still a bonus die?
You do. Yeah. Go ahead and take a bonus dice.
Ooh, 52. Regular success.
Regular success.
Hubert's got a 95, so he wins the tie.
And it's tough. So it is going over the edge, but you're able to sort of like jam it up against it. It wrestles against him for a while, that it draws out Hubert's aggression, and then in sort of blind rage as it begins to fade, you get it over towards the edge and jam it back down the vent, where it will plummet towards the sleeping god. And hopefully this pebble is not significant enough to wake it. As it begins to vanish over the side, do you want to try and have it?
I'll try to pull it up, like...
Okay. So it's going to be...
I'm not going to be able to retrieve it. It's not going to be in a flying space. It's actually purely just sentimental at this point.
That is completely valid. Go ahead and make a power roll. You're not going to... This is going to be with a penalty because it did the jamming, so we're down to a straight roll. And are you trying to get it back up the vent or out the other side? I would say back up the vent is going to be hard. Out the other side, like down, up, over is going to be extreme.
Get it back up.
Yeah, no, I can't get it back. I'm just going to keep it out of the lava.
At least stop it from hitting the god.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. The safest way to do that, to keep it out of the lava.
Okay.
And if it means going out of the volcano and tumbling down the side of the mountain, that's okay. What am I looking for? Is
Straight
it hard?
power roll. It's going to be hard. Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Okay. You can't really fail these rolls, is what I'm noticing, Jackson. And for 2 points of luck,
thought that was going to be the
this
one.
right back up.
I mean, should I?
Yeah,
I guess so.
You should do
There's
it.
a level of genuinely how much value do you think you're going to get from this at this point? But
None at all. It's purely 100% sentimental.
It is completely reasonable.
I don't hate that, because we've done some truly insane things. This plane, in a pinch, could be a way out of here if necessary.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have done stupider things. A bathtub went to the center of the earth. This heckin' plane can get us out of a trans-dimensional rift.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
All right.
we augmented it with a bunch of other technology too.
Yeah,
so.
Because we're in the place with the most tech.
Yeah.
We are literally, everyone's fighting
That's
over
true.
tech.
All right,
So
let's bring
we can
it back.
find a way to phase this thing properly out and have it defend. I mean, they're not getting in currently.
So
We're in a better position to be
I think
nah.
what happens is Hubert wrestles with this plane for a while. It's very much like they've got those things at zoos where it's like test your strength against the lion. So Sam's psychically battling Hubert and giving it, and then eventually Hubert finally gets it over the edge, turns around to everyone and confidently smacks his hands. Plane sort of comically peaks back up. He whirls around, it goes back down, and he comes stomping over. And then as it begins to surface, he's beginning the apology sound. It comes out and lands. Now, it is still busted as hell, and after Hubert's aggression, it's even more wrenched apart. But it has returned like a very loyal pet.
If I can throw out the ending scene of my rage, I throw the thing over, I turn towards Sam, I pull the coconut Sam out in one meaty hand and crush it and start walking forward. And then I go, oh no, Sam! And go down and start fumbling in the coconut and trying to put it back together. And
Good. Hey!
Once I've regained myself, I apologize intensely and push the bits of coconut down the hole into the lava.
Look, we're not going to get this mission done if we're going to spend all that time apologizing, hey?
Oh, okay. I've only got one friend left. I'll make sure this one is perfectly safe. I carefully cradle the Aries coconut.
What happened to the mini coconut?
I ceremoniously broke it.
Can you yeet it into the swamp?
Sorry. I threw it to demonstrate the fact that it was, then not the real mini.
Oh, okay. But the other two, they could have still been the real Sam and Aries. That's fine.
Yes, exactly.
That's fine.
Until I murdered one of them.
Maybe you killed the real one, Hubert, and this one in front of you is the coconut.
We can't go that deep, man. Not until the next sanity fail.
So you're currently standing in a massive, basically like pumping station kind of thing, drawing up this heat and waves and fueling a huge structure overhead, decorated with, glittering nobules and bits that whiz and spur and sing. The specifics of it are kind of arcane to you, although Sammy could probably puzzle it out, but it's clearly drawing in power and using it to fuel this facility in some way. Now, you have entered basically another phase of reality as you came in through here, and you immediately notice that there's like your normal, like everyone's baseline levels of anxiety and terror, but we've returned to those rather than the augmented volcano god terror, and you feel you have separated from it. You can also hear, actually it's pretty loud in here with the of the machinery, so you don't have much of a sense from where it goes. There's a couple of doorways that lead out though, and Minnie, you'll begin to notice that everything here is written in Narcal. They use that for all identification of all, they're not real keen on their fire safety routes, but anywhere that there's writing, it's in Narcal. Additionally,
well, at least we have a snake person to open doors again.
Door labels and stuff.
Dr. Sam, this is the first time you've seen Minnie.
My first priority, now that we're safe on the ground, not moving, is skin on.
Okay. She looks even worse than she did previously. Minnie, you've been like basically briefly smoked and cooked as you went up through the volcano. It's all stuck across you, basically giving you like a layer of sort of ash skin, but
I don't mind. It's better than what it was before.
The only exception being basically two handprints over your face where your hands are, and around the eyes. You have like these two like red smears where you blocked the rest of it. Sam, I'm gonna need you to make a sanity roll for seeing your good friend.
That's fair.
Being so horrible.
I mean, I wish I could say it was the first time I've seen my friend with their skin off.
If we put some spices on you, Minnie, you're going to be pretty far along the way to genuinely a very good mission.
You're going to smell so good.
Just one point, please, Sam. And then, if you want, you can attempt to heal her. And then you have officially breached the citadel. Congratulations, you are the first humans to ever set foot in here.
That seems like a very backhanded congratulations.
Good job.
Not human.
Well, they are then. No congratulations for you. There's been loads of serpent persons in here. You ain't special. Seen it before, we'll see it again.
It's kind of important we have one. We've established their doors don't open unless you are serpent.
True. Well, let's find, I don't know, the center, I guess, of all of this. Plant the Hasparang device, and that's the next step, right?
Have a look
Well,
around by all means.
Is there anything
We need an
Dr. Sen
exit
can do for
plan.
me? Because I have
Yeah.
3 hit points.
100%.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm wondering is, do I start with first aid? Because I haven't given a first aid.
Unfortunately, you're going to be outside of the first aid window because by the time you did the fight,
that's
got to the
right.
volcano, got up, that will have passed.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So we're into the zone, the
All right. Every
medicine time.
single bandage I have, like dunked in burn cream and any other kind of serpent skin friendly nonsense that I have left in my syringe and vials. I've lost track. I should have been writing this down. My approach has just been, hey Dave, do I have something for this?
We go luck
And
roll.
I feel like I had something for this. Dave says, yeah, you probably had something for that.
Probably you're a doctor guy. That sounds right.
Is there the possibility of a like, can I borrow your jacket situation where maybe Ares, you could hand over your skin for a little bit just to
I mean, I don't wear a skin suit.
Yeah,
What I'm able to do is to essentially exude, I guess, kind of like an impressive like illusion or hallucination where people are like, oh no, you fully are just human to all my senses. But like, I mean, I think it is like, I do have just airy skin, whatever, but the vibe that I'm getting from it is like, it is magic. It's not a thing that I can like literally zip off and be like, there you go.
I don't know, that might not be such a bad thing.
I think, technically, yeah.
But I think what we established is there's a chance I could teach Minnie how to do it.
Yep.
I could, because Minnie is not incapable of like, this is a very innate thing, but it is technically a spell. So I could be like, well, you just try this.
I'm going to just start with some medicine because as Alex said, 3 hit points. Let's start there. Let's
slap a quick medicine down.
Yeah.
It's 62. 1d4 hit points, I think it was. Pulp rules. Do you want to roll? Do you want me to roll?
You can roll.
Oh, very kind.
Yeah, a D4 for medicine.
Deuce.
Thank you.
Deuces. Have that. You're able to clean off some of the rocks and scabs and things. You also, unlike the others, get the first really upfront and personal look at it, and it's just awful. The skin basically, when the serum was injected, like distance off, so there's no tears along it, but it is comprehensive. The places where it struggled were where the skin draws into seams around it, so around her nails, it's quite jagged, where it was basically ripped away by the thing, so a couple of nails have been lost. Other ones still have like tendrils of skin around
I've got like 2 nails left.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's around the lips, it's now just straight to teeth and gums. Ears would be mostly gone, just like little plug holes coated with ash, and it's Minnie's had a bad old time.
Couple of jagged bits of cartilage left. Nose doesn't look quite the same.
As you're going over this, Sam, you are reminded. I mean, part of why so many people were seeking out the Citadel is the wondrous, terrific technologies contained within, and you've seen healing baths capable of regenerating people before, and that was also, in theory, this is like the original, the good stuff. That was them trying to puzzle it back out, like figure out how they used to do it and get it up and going again. There might be other areas around here that could help Minnie further. You'll just need to find them.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that is not our mission. If Sam mentions it, Minnie will just say, I would love that. We do need to very quickly destroy the facility, though we need to find that out first. And then if there's time, I would love one of those bars.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, right now, we need every pair of hands we can get. And if a stiff breeze is going to take you down, then that's not really a pair of hands we can count on. So I think it's a pretty good priority, unless the tactician disagrees, that we find a way to get Minnie back fighting fit.
Could I quickly? Could I have used the last moments of my insanity, possibly, just to give us a direction, maybe to not go this way, to make a listen check to see if I have heard reverberating through this entire facility, like action or movement or anything, the direction we might want to go?
You can make a listen roll. This place is the scale of a city block. So there's limits. This in theory could support thousands of people. You do have bonus dice,
yeah.
So because
I get a bonus dice. Excellent.
That's the button.
Ho ho ho! Still no.
Yeah, unless you want to spend those 16 of your final remaining points of luck. Also in here, it's
good.
thundering with like machinery and things. You generally also probably just have a bit of a sense of like the vastness. One of you will at one point go over. There's like doors around here. As you get to the door that leads in, it is like rusted and sealed shut, where ash is just slowly pushed up against it as if it has not been opened in thousands of years. It'll need to be like forced open and dragged out, and then from there you'll begin to get a sense of the entire scale. It will open out into stairway that leads up, and then from there you can just see banks of different rooms, corridors leading between them, an entire labyrinth of a city that has slumbered for millennia before finally being awoken.
Good.
Yeah, sweet.
That's good.
So, tactician's perspective. We do want to find a way out before we decide to blow this thing up. We can set the device. Ideally, we'll have time to set it properly, but on the off chance we don't, we should know the way out before we do so. We also ideally would find the best place to place this. I'm still coming to grips with Narcal, I believe, but Miss Sinclair does have a pretty decent grasp. This place is massive. There's at least going to be street signs. We're going to get an idea of what's around by reading signs and what have you.
That's right. 7 people can get lost too.
If we see anything to do with medical research, etc., growth vats, then certainly it doesn't hurt us to go and look. But I would say our number one objective is find how we're getting out of here. And our number two objective is place the device and leave. If things pop up on the way, then great. I know, Miss Sinclair, you know that this comes entirely from a place of getting us all out alive. If we can find things to take and research later, obviously, of course we shall. But objective one is...
that's the lowest priority.
Objective one is to destroy this place.
Do what we came here to do, eh?
And survive. So, step one, how do we get out? Miss Sinclair, can you start translating some of these various signs, and I'll see if I can get this door open.
I could try.
So all the signs inside are mostly things like, don't put your serpent hands near this serpent machinery, and, no serpent drinking on the serpent job. It's just functional stuff in here. There's not many directions, but as you get out, you can look further. So door first, you can get through that. Hubert's immense and gigantic. Burst it open.
I'm a snake.
You're a snake. Oh, this one's fully these ones just like rusted shut is what I can say.
Yeah, I just mean in terms of we don't have to fight the mechanism of the door as well as the fact that it's rusted. The mechanism wants to move. We're helping it on its way.
You time it, you go, and Hubert just slams into it to burst it open. From there, you ascend a set of stairs and out into the largeness of the facility. The whole thing is clearly like foreign in architecture. It's a lot more circular where possible. Oh, lost one.
Oh no.
That's not a great sign. Oh, we're good.
Oh yay.
Hell yeah. It's a lot more circular in general, rather than, cubic or rectangular, as humans tend to do. And you can see you are confident that there'll be street signs or some sort of directions, but they don't have any large boulevards or anything. Instead, it'll just be this nest of warrens moves into this one that connects into another. And they also seem to often have basically different... It's a very walkable city, which is good, or I guess slitherable. They'll have this one has a nesting pods, food capable, yada yada yada, all in this section, and then they do this or whatever, and then that connects to that one, and zip, 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 zip.
What are the public transport options? Travelators?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of those strange orbs you saw previously that were being used to fly around. They've got some of those that would at one time race between, but now after they have been either disused or poorly maintained for ages, very few of these things work, and the whole place has an air of decay and just gathered dust. That said, it's not abandoned, not completely. You will see as you come out, where the center of the floors go, like the edges are caked with grime, but down the center there are like slithering tracks where some things do live in this facility, or have. Everything's in sort of like a half light where almost emergency lighting is on, like just very low hues of red all throughout the area, and it continues to be at a sort of baking heat. It's very warm here.
Do we see, so the vibe is that there's these different little pods of like activity where snake people would live and eat and then ostensibly work. Do we have any indication of what was done in these various areas? Are we able to sort of glean that? Because I'm thinking if we can't find an actual like hangar bay, given this place is technically phasing in and out, perhaps they have some kind of phasing technology that would get us into like a different dimension, and we could use that to plug into ours. There's also got to be some way to open and close gates to this place, so perhaps we can find that from the same place.
Control room.
Otherwise, as a thought, sorry, Mr. Smith. If the control room is the thing that's phasing this in and out of existence, or in and out of this plane of being, damaging the control room might be a way to fully shut this place down, more so even than destroying the citadel itself. That might end up being an alright place if we cannot find anything else to set the half-drang device up and also make our escape.
I mean, if we set the half-drang device out with a longer timer, if we feel like we're running out of time, we can just pop it down wherever we are, set the timer, and try and get out.
Yeah, genuinely, you can just activate it now for a 24-hour window and go, worst case, that fucker's gonna blow up.
The only reason that I don't want to do that quite yet is because, one, we don't know it's definitely going to work. We have an idea that we can set it, but it may just explode, and I would like at least there to be a chance that if we're not 100% sure, some people can get out. And the other thing is we don't want it found, because it is a reasonable assumption that the Serpent people would very easily know how to deactivate this if necessary. So
that's it.
We want to ensure that if we do set it for 24 hours, it is also well hidden.
Yeah, because looking around,
we can hide it pretty well, I think.
I suspect we can.
Let's reduce the number of variables, hey?
Essentially, yes. If we can reduce the number of variables, then yes, I would prefer that. But, Mr. Smith?
I would like to just also have a quick look around and while the conversation is happening, just sort of glance back and forth. If there's a traditional like navigate way to get through this, like do I notice all the sort of like architecture does it all build in a direction kind of like a main road sort of thing? I didn't think that one of the terrible technologies the Serpent people had would be effective urban design, but if it's a workable city, perhaps we can reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
What have the Serpent people ever done for us?
Well, they built the grav pods.
Oh yeah, the grav pods. Yeah, apart from the grav pods and the roads and the skin-off baths, and magical hearing film, what have the Serpent people ever done for us?
Perfect.
Okay, so not going to deploy the half-drang device yet, and looking to find somewhere where you can begin to get a sense for the area. So you begin to travel through it, looking for it, first getting a feel for it, and then looking for some sort of like one of those maps I have in malls where you can plug in like the H&M or whatever you're looking for and find out how to get there. You begin
You are here.
Yeah, exactly. You begin to head along, and as you've traveled for just a few short minutes of staying quiet and just keeping an ear out, Hubert, with your sort of slightly enhanced hearing, you're going to be the first one to sense something approaching. There's a rustle, and then like some movement, slithery.
Something's coming. I think it's a snake. Get to cover. I yell at everyone. Well, sorry, I hiss to everyone. I don't hiss. I whisper to everyone. God, gotta be careful with your words here. To get to cover, to hide, so we can see what's coming.
Okay.
I get to cover. I hide, despite the fact that it sounds. I can hear Dave's like, it's a fake out. It's something coming, but it's not gonna be scary. Everything's fine. I can hear that now. Play with Dave long enough where I go, oh, something's coming, but it's gonna be like a bunny rabbit or something. I can hear it now.
Change my notes quickly. All right, and I'm gonna kill you all. You all sort of skirt, you shoot to the sides and vanish into adjacent rooms. One of them was sort of like half open. Carter is able to slide open another one, and you can move out of the way. I will get everyone to make stealth rolls, please, and you can take bonus dice because you have the. They're unaware of your presence so far.
Alrighty then.
And I get 2 bonus die?
Come on, yes. Oh goddamn! I really wanted that to confirm it.
Nice.
I'm gonna spend some luck. This might be the only luck check.
Extreme.
That's a 10, isn't it now?
Three of
yes.
us got extreme successes, and only Hubert failed.
Can the 3 extreme successes cover me? 1 for each level.
Who do you want to be with, Hubert? As you split into 2 different
don't make me
groups on each
choose.
side.
I think I most recently murdered Sam, so let's stay with Sam.
Okay, great.
Good choice.
So Carter and Minnie dive into the other one, and Sam's able to pull them away. And actually, everyone acting fairly well. Hubert, you're also the one that heard them coming. So you sort of stay low, and with the door slightly cracked, you can see something beginning to move along the ground towards you. It's in the half light, and you're kind of looking at it from the corner. It is not a single, like, massive snake. It is a stream of independent serpent persons. They are completely prone on the ground with their arms behind them, naked, not wearing any clothing or anything, and they are arching their back up and their legs and then pushing themselves forward along the ground as they continue to chant to themselves, mostly into the ground as their face is ground against it, in Narcal. Minnie and Carter, you'll immediately recognize Yig in there somewhere. Minnie, if you want to give me a Narcal roll to try and piece together any more of it, as they just begin push themselves along the ground and past you in one long procession. There's about like 13, a dozen of them.
I withdraw my statement about that being a bunny rabbit.
Hate that. Don't know what they're saying.
You failed?
Yep.
Okay. You definitely hear that. You definitely hear Yig, and it's some sort of chanting as I push past. It takes you a little while as they go through, and during this period, it's slow, but the lights in your room are coming on, Hubert. You and Dr. Sam, so and you see you're in like a large canteen or like cafeteria sort of thing. There's no, there might be tables, and against the walls, there's these horrible, like, they're porous, the walls, with a black lattice on the outside, and as they come on and seem to have detected your presence in some way, it begins to extrude some sort of foaming crust that pushes through the porous membrane, begins to turn into almost like a little creature or something. It begins to become sort of a rat-like but with extra limbs and no fur. And then its mouth begins to open and it starts going like...
I hate this place.
As it drops out and onto the ground where it wetly squirms.
It's trying to feed us, I think. That's horrible. Let's...
Do you want to eat it?
No.
Okay.
I'm a bold breakfastier, but I'm not that bold.
The palate has limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drops on the ground, will continue to sort of squirm, and eventually, when it's not consumed, will kind of right itself and squirm away.
I'll just politely ignore it. I think that's what I'd do.
Yep.
Look straight ahead.
Yeah. Just politely ignore it.
Do we know if our presence in the room activated the lights? Because I'm thinking if it was something about the procession, we might just want to follow the procession. They're probably going towards a...
It appeared to be your presence, which does indicate that this has some detection that is not just... Like, it's not necessarily honed in on serpent persons, possibly because they never anticipated humans. It's just flagging for... It's basically a motion detector or something like that, maybe.
Honestly, this place is kind of turning out to be a bit based. Walkable city, free food, kind of like universal basic income. It's not too bad. Yeah. Not too bad to be a serpent person.
You got to do that, whatever those people did every now and then, I guess. But
can we see? I'm hoping that as this thing scarpers, that this might be something that happens. So maybe they have attempted escape and fire one of those lasers at the thing. Or is there any sign of safety or kind of like emergency stuff? I want a fire escape map is what I'm looking for at this stage.
Yeah. I mean, sorry. In here, no. But so as you leave the section, begin to carry on, yes, you will find eventually some sort of... At first, you think it's a really interesting modern art piece, and you'll take a little while to take it in, and, it's what does it say to you? And then, oh, no, hang on, that's the map. And if we're... Shit. Here. You can try navigation of it. It is all written in Narcal. So, Minnie, if you want to try and translate it, or basically assist and work with Hubert on this, it'll take you both a little bit to puzzle out. There's a couple of basic words you can get, but this is going to determine...
Worth it, I think.
Yeah. So, Narcal to kind of get a sense of it, and then Hubert, you can try navigation. Carter?
All right, we got this.
Have I...
Very little Narcal, it's... Yeah.
Have I... Through this, transformation and stuff, I didn't do any of the, study, but we have been going through this... now for a while. Have I picked up any basic Narcal? Is there anything in there?
You could have
stupid.
No, but you never studied it or put the points in it. Unfortunately, it's just not been your focus. And no, you do not innately get it with the understanding.
No,
that's fine.
That's all good.
Do I have a couple of basic words? Because I think I did yell stop at something in Narcal at one point.
Yeah, you might have very
is there enough of
I
have learned how to say hello, thank you, where are the bathrooms?
Can you direct me to a train stop? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've
just
got
the real, European tourist.
Did you have a bonus die on that, Alex, from assistant?
Does anyone else have Narcal?
Yeah, I got 12 points.
Okay, well then, go ahead and go. Yeah, you can take.
Everyone have Narcal but me.
I think there was a
You had the
roll,
opportunity to learn it
roll
right at the beginning, and I think you must not have.
That's it. Yeah, no, I spent some time.
Okay. You have a look over at Minnie. Unfortunately, not only is it Narcal, it's faded as hell, it's lost away, and it's a bunch of really... It's Narcal from a different time. It's not been updated, modernized.
Archaic.
They're not even
it's
using
the Middle
close...
English equivalent of Narcal.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You think you get a couple of pieces. One, just from looking at the map and with Hubert's thing, heading towards the center appears to be... There are, thoroughfares, making their way there towards the center. So it looks like there is some sort of large... It's unclear what it is. Temple, big thing, hangar. There's a room of import towards the center, and quite a large one, that it does seem like thoroughfares are brought towards. Presumably, if they've got some sort of religious structure, it might be a temple. Unfortunately, as you've been traveling already, you've seen that a number of passages are blocked off. So finding a way, you might need to take a more circuitous path. Additionally, I think because of your... So you don't know what these are exactly because the translation's a little jilted. You think you might have found what is some sort of information store or library, something. It's definitely holding knowledge. You think it might be holding brains again. There's a word kind of like brain. You're really not sure. It looks a little bit similar to what you saw before. And you see another one that you think, and these ones are more spread out. There's a number of them. There seems to be some sort of medical or hospital or something like that. Those get repeated throughout a number of the different suburbs.
Can we go there? I would like to go there.
Good place to start as any.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do we see anything
I do think
that
we need to go towards anything that looks like a control
Because
room.
Do we
and
have
that's the
a
center.
control?
You're going to kind of make your way towards that, I'll assume in general,
Towards the
but
center,
you'll
yeah.
kind of have to skirt around and through things, so you might as well hit a couple of bits and bobs on the way past.
The whole big central, big command center probably wouldn't be signposted gratuitously.
There does seem to be something right in the center of it that they've gone, whoa, babe, this is the big one. We love this.
Temple thing.
And it seems to be there's thoroughfares going towards it. Now there might be a secret one or something hidden nearby, but
I mean, also, there is the assumption that, if the control room is, a big deal, it wouldn't be signposted. Everyone would just know. You don't have to be this way to the control center. It depends.
Everyone who needs to know probably already knows where that is.
Yeah, let's just head towards the center.
Stopping by the hospital and library on the way, in that order.
Well, if we have to pick one.
Hospital.
Library, you don't know. You think so each one of these, the main sort of like where you can begin to map out a path through towards the center. There's one you can take that will sort of go through and past the library. It's just a matter of like, is it going to be blocked off? Are you going to have to divert? You can kind of head in that direction and it's not too big a diversion. If you start getting a bunch of roadblocks before, you can try and just squirrel your way past and around the other side.
We do want the quickest route to the middle.
Yeah. But the hospital is pretty doable as a first stop. So you can all set off. And it's hopefully not too far. Now, as you leave and make your way there, can I get a group luck check? So whoever has the lowest luck, please make a roll for me.
Oh, no.
25?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Take that, Dave.
You walk quietly, and for the most part, so far, things seem to be quiet. As you start getting closer to where you think this medical center is, you can hear movement from up ahead as you get around the corner. And with probably Minnie, who's the quietest, sort of creeping down and peeking around to look down the dark expanse, you see there is what looks like a prone figure being levitated across the floor and towards the room that you think is the hospital, which has lights on the inside. As you look closer, you can see that there's a number of like metallic rat spider things underneath it that have like gotten under and they got raised up and then skittering along to carry it in towards it. You can also see they have a number of little sharp pointy bits on their edges that have stuck into its skin to hold it in place and move it into the facility. The creature is moving feebly that they're transporting. It's great.
Does it look like it's a snake person?
Yes, it is a certain person.
Okay. Injured? Do they look injured like somebody who was injured on the battlefield?
Yeah, actually, yeah. They are dressed in, they have like armor on. Or like defensive equipment, and you can see it looks like they've been shot in one of their sections, are in fairly bad condition.
They haven't seen us?
Is it archaic armor or is it like
it's modern? It's modern. This is like what you've seen Serpent persons wear around in like the base in Iceland and stuff like that.
So there's a solid chance that the individuals in here are not in fact archaic. They are a different faction.
That, or they're inside?
Some of them, at least.
Or they've breached.
Interesting. I don't know why the citadel would be healing. I suppose if it's automatic, it doesn't.
It's either automated or they've breached it.
Well,
we can just take out an injured soldier and a couple of spider.
Oh yeah, that dude looks
things.
like he's no threat.
Yeah.
Is it any when you say
really
movement?
Hard and he'd die.
But can we?
The only movement is mechanized movement.
From here, yeah. And you're like, so you peek around the corner, you can see the door that leads into it, and the movement of Zay bring him in, and then from the inside you can hear like pumps and like horrible science.
But no conversation.
No conversation, no.
Okay.
Except for the what sound like dying breaths of this man. And Minnie, if you pause for a little bit, you'll hear those stop as this dude gets dunked in a tank.
Well, so long as the robot things aren't necessarily hostile, I think we can deal with one weird creature if we have to.
We feel okay about taking him down while he's getting treatment?
Yes.
I don't have a problem with leaving him if he's unconscious. You won't know we're there. The only concern I have is hostile action against something that's being treated may turn those little robots against us. So if he's unconscious,
or the whole
which
facility.
I wonder whether we just treat this as hopefully he's not aware that we are, like, he is in a state where, because you said feebly, whatever, like, he seemed pretty out of it. So there's a chance, hopefully, if we're just subtle about it, he's unconscious, won't know any the wiser, and we can do what we need to do and then move
only.
on.
If he attacks us, sure, but I think if this is an automated facility, being hostile might make it hostile back to us.
Let's just hope that they've got similar rules of engagement.
Yeah, maybe the facility will attack them.
Ares will do a bit of a stretch and like a couple more scales will just like stretch out from the skin and like go down the arm a little.
All right,
My eyes are completely like yellow with the slits, by the way, and I do like I'm definitely looking.
Hell yeah, weird snake guy.
I feel not great, so I'm just gonna golem scuttle my way in.
Let's have a look around, see if we can get anything to patch up there.
Is anyone not going forward?
Maybe an odd question.
Let's keep a lookout. Maybe I'll hang
Maybe
at the
there's
back.
rabbits inside, Jackson.
Okay, we've had one multiplayer reference this session. No more. No
We
more.
do want our doctor in because we want Sam to have a chance to have a look at everything. I have the snake everything, so I can hopefully interact with the technology if it is a physical thing, and potentially, depending on what these little robots are designed to interact with, if they're hostile to things that aren't snakes, maybe they won't be hostile if a snake is with them, is my thought. Then Miss Sinclair is the one that actually needs healing. So, Mr. Smith, if you feel comfortable waiting in the rear
I will
keeping
keep
an
watch.
eye out.
Okay.
If you're feeling a bit, itchy in the brain again, do just remember that there's a god downstairs that should die.
Yes. I'll keep that at the forefront of my mind.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Well,
so,
a lot of serpent people that.
So Hubert hangs back, and the rest of you cautiously come forward, look around the corner, and then step inside what is a moderately sized room filled to the absolute brim with incredible networks of tubes, crystals, and technology. It's, at first look, immediately arcane, but Sam, you can begin to see some common theming of how like a basic triage thing might work, and towards the back, there is a bank of crystalline computers, similar to the ones that Minnie has interacted with previously, and one of them is currently like working and doing the equivalent of like a loading screen pattern as it's gone to sleep. The small rat creatures have moved through and dumped the serpent person inside one of the containers. And
the metal robots, or like these
little,
are rat creatures,
they're
like
little,
the things
they're like
that
little metallic rats, and as they come back, you can see them. You can
not
see them
the
more
rat
clearly.
that we were fed.
Yeah, no, different. Although it kind of got like, clearly they have like one design. They're like, that's kind of what like rat things look like, and this is what we're gonna use. They're small, like spherical bodied with 6 feet and a little curious looking head, and then a long, vicious like scorpion tail that they seem to use to stabilize themselves or to help with carrying things. And they move in swarms. They'll just go and move around. As the three of you come in, who is injured? Is anyone uninjured?
I'm missing. Yeah, I'm missing 2 hit points, but otherwise I'm fine.
And you're uninjured, Sam?
I'm on 100%.
Okay. Minnie, they come towards you, circle around, and immediately attempt to basically carry you. They're going to try and get you on their back and carry you towards one of these large, sort of like open pods filled with absolutely rank looking liquid that is like got a couple of bubbles, and there's a skin on top of it of like fuzz and coagulated gel.
Whatever.
Okay, let the rats do their work.
At this point, whatever.
Several of them also
Can't
come up
be
towards.
worse than this.
Several come up towards you as well, Ares, and are going to try and do the same thing to you.
Into the gel.
I mean, they seem friendly enough, eh?
I will attempt to like walk towards where they're trying to usher me to go. I do not wish to lie down, and if they do attempt to like shunt, if that doesn't seem to placate them, I will attempt to say stop in Narcal.
Okay. So you
not aggressively, just like no.
Okay, I dig it. So they take Minnie and move her towards you. Move kind of willingly, and you think there's definitely some sort of, they have an awareness of like injury levels, and they aren't as stressed about you. So you're able to, you can walk towards it and keep them at bay if you wish. Whereas Minnie is going through them, they then scramble up the side of the tank, with Minnie sort of getting like, rolled over and then down onto the inside. As soon as she goes in, you see the tank begin to light up slightly, and large like vacuum tubes edged onto the thing of it begin to pump in fresh gel and stuff. And Minnie, from the inside, you begin to see it going
God.
up and over you as the thing seals as well. And then it completely fills.
Probably too late to get her out, eh?
You can try and break it. Once she's in, the rats just retreat from it and ignore it.
Let us prepare to start breaking stuff if we need to.
Okay.
Oh, you're at the back, keeping a lookout? Never mind.
Yeah, Hubert's saying a little different. All right, so watching it, you see the pumps, they fill it with gel, and then there's 4 of them plugged in. Clearly one is completely blocked or clogged. Another one is moving much more slugishly, but the other ones begin to funnel forward, and you can see it's pushing something into the liquid. You're not really sure what it is, and then you can catch like a sliver of something moving, and then the clogged one pushes out, and there is this like thick wad of long white worms that begin to, like this big clog of it, and then they begin to just flood out and into it, skirting around and burrowing down towards Minnie.
Oh my god.
Sam, is there anything you'd like to try and do at this stage? Or Carter?
I guess just like study it, learn it, figure out what it's doing, figure out if it's still safe for Minnie. Just like figuring out how this stuff applies to human physiology and whether we need to stop the process. So like medicine to study it, right?
It's going to be it's pretty tough to figure out too much of it, but go ahead and make a medicine check with the kind of like you're focusing on the immediate. Like there's this try to figure out what it's doing. Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine roll. Carter, what are you doing?
It's beyond me.
They were sort of ushering me to another, like, is there, because like my injury is relatively like minor, is there a way for me to sort of not be completely submerged in this thing, more of like, you know, an ice bath sort of deal as opposed to like a full
They seem to have one trick and it's get in the pod.
All right.
Okay, all right. So Sam, you sort of look
put
around.
Put it this way, Sam, you want to know what the difference is between snake physiology and human physiology? Well, you've got to control.
So as you look back and you're like, damn, I really don't know what Carter, I don't know what this is doing in a minute. You look back and Carter's being like dragged up and dropped into another pod.
I will happily like climb up into it and then like pop myself down and be like, well, this is either going to be delightful or disgusting, or both.
Do you want to wait till Minnie's done? No, that's all right.
As you get in and you look over to talk to both of them, you can see Minnie on the inside of this one on the interior. Well, that's at first, and then they start burrowing into your skin, and it quickly turns into like a...
I don't have that.
You don't hate that?
No, I don't have it. I don't have skin.
Oh yeah, you're right. Burrows it straight into the muscles then. Even better.
Does it hurt?
It is painful. No, it's not. There is a numbing element to the whole thing.
Yeah,
so you can't feel
I'm probably
pain.
less in pain than I have been for the last 2 hours.
So you are no longer in pain, but you can feel them like moving inside you, and it's kind of just generally gross and bad.
Dentist anesthetic style. Doesn't hurt, feel everything.
That's right. So as you get in, and then Carter, the similar process begins to happen to you. It fills up, seals, pumps of shit beginning to be clogged into it. Sam, you could push this medicine roll.
Oh,
because
Dave,
there
are
banks, the computers and things have turned on in reaction to the process happening. It seems like while active, you're able to get in and you could try and find some information. There might be schematics for redesigning these. There might be means for getting them to, like, this is, if this medicine is capable of what you believe it to be, which basically like diagnosing any ailment, illness, and then restoring it, this would revolutionize medicine back home and save innumerable lives.
But I'm risking like turning it off just as the skin is coming on.
Tank.
No, I'm dialing back to do no harm. I'm gonna let him have the tank.
Okay,
if I don't learn the tanks, that's fine.
There's the possibility of endless knowledge, or but I like it at this point.
There's also the possibility of endless knowledge for 20 points of luck.
No, this is pushing the roll at this point.
I missed that chance.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, it's interesting because Sam has been a little bit more experimental, a little bit more mad scientist when it's safe, and then when his good friend is like skin off, about to live or die, like dial back a little bit. It's like when the consequences are right there in front of him. He's gonna, better not, better not.
Yeah, hell yeah, I love it. Okay, all right. You watch as the worms do their work, and inside the tanks, both of you heal 2d10 hit points.
Oh, nice.
Well, I had 2 hit points to get back, so I will get those. Yeah.
And then I need you to both roll a d4.
Oh no, Dave.
Oh, Minnie, that's a lot of hell.
Oh my goodness, 2d10, 19. That's amazing.
3.
How much did you heal, Carter? Or I guess you've only got you physically cannot not heal full. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Minnie, if you're just gonna give me a d4.
This d4 is very suspicious, though. I'm not enjoying that.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, Carter, your one is as they begin to re-heal you, these sections where you were damaged and stuff, they go over, like they polish it, they buff it up, you know, let's get you really up, fighting fit, a game. Everywhere that is replacing it are being replaced with scales. Now, fortunately, that's a problem you've already solved. So you are not.
I will say, like, the when I get into the tub and like it begins to fill, I have fully dropped. Like, I am just Serpent, because that way, I still am working out how this spell thing works. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep my airy skin safe. I'll subsume that into myself and let it do the work on this, and then worry about putting the skin back on later if necessary. But I am gonna go full Snake Aries for the foreseeable, because it takes a lot of energy to turn back. So.
That rules. Okay, so you get the heal.
And there's no need for me to be human at this point. So
Snake Aries or just Scaries for short.
Scaries.
Okay.
Snaries?
Awesome. So as yours begins to cover in scales, eventually begins to drain and step out. Minnie, your transformation is slightly more jarring and also pretty perfect given what you have had. The damaged parts of your body, which I would call all of it, and the skin, as you begin to drain away, the worms do not leave. They instead pool on the sections and then like smear into liquid metal that covers, and it covers all damaged parts, which is all of you, Minnie.
Everything.
So there is, as you step out of the tank, as it drains away, there is a sheen all over you, as there's basically a liquid metal layer that covers your entire body. Eyelids, gums, lips, the whole thing. So you do need to make a sanity roll for me, but it does also kind of fully rule.
That is
you
so
take
good.
1 point as you come out and see it. And also, while you're concentrating on it, it stays in like it's like a similar mini shape, like it possibly does your hair and everything. But when you lose focus, it begins to like, it'll squirm around your form and reshape, and then you have to be like, no, and then it reasserts itself into you. But when you're not looking, it'll like puddle around and make strange shapes and things. So
does it try to default to Serpent? Is that it's like...
No, it seems to, on some level, recognize Minnie's biology, and it also Carter basically seems to recognize you as Serpentine more than human. So you're getting that treatment. It's possible that this could also be used like animals and things as well. They may have prepared it for more than just serpent people.
Very cool.
It's just like liquid metal.
Yeah. It's the little metalline worms that have like drenched all around it, so they're kind of like coming with you. And it's possibly because since they can't repair the skin or something, they've just like defaulted to like just using themselves as like a almost permanent balm. You do also have a point of armor from that Minnie, just going forward.
Holy crap.
Chat has pointed out Iron Min.
Iron Man, like crawl out of the tank and just be like, guys, I feel great. I feel really, really good.
Rules.
So we now have Iron Min, Skin-Off, and Claire.
You look good.
No, I feel really good.
You look good.
I look strange, but in a good way.
Aries will just like fully get out, stretch, full serpent, and be like, I feel stupendous.
Good.
Everything feels like that real nice, like all of it's been oiled, all my scales are moving nicely. There's like, it feels nice. Also, I blink sideways now. Like I do the side and the like.
And you're full serpent person at this point too, like claws the whole
I would say, I don't know, like I would assume that my form, because I started human, like I don't necessarily have like an actual like cobra or anything. Like I'm still humanoid shaped.
That you will have grown a tail, and you are serpentine. They have reworked your biology. You're
I have a tail.
Yeah, you'd have. You are a serpent person, basically. Yeah, it's
yours.
You 100%
Can I hold
do have
things with it?
You've got a tail.
Not
Ares.
easily. It's not quite that dexterous, but it kind of helps balance a little bit. You can feel. You do not feel. You remember being human. You are not that anymore. Your center of balance is different. Yeah.
Here's Ares going through like a second puberty. Like, oh man,
genuinely.
my body's changing in weird ways, and Ares' response is, so can I use it as a weapon? Like, is my body a weapon now?
I kill
a weapon?
Yeah. Do I have a prehensile tail I can use to like help, balance me when I'm using very large weaponry? Or trying to be more dexterous? Sure. I mean, I know I did actually get a bit of extra dexterity, so I assume that is somewhat played into that as like I am just a little bit more like I've got counterbalance.
100%. So, given we're coming up on 12 here, and we need to park our session. So what we're gonna do is, as Carter steps out of the draining tub and sort of reasserts their fully serpentine physique, as Minnie emerges as well, completely coated in liquid metal and ascending like your new form. Sam puzzling over some of the the electronics and the pieces in the room and trying to figure out what's going. And Hubert, who down the corner, listening out, has found like a sort of an intercom or something that's carrying noise from some distant part inside the facility, where you can begin to hear chanting in Narcal, and one word, even with your limited vocabulary, filters through of yig. 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 And that is where we are going to leave this session.
Where have I heard that word
Jackson,
before?
I have one last question before we finish, Dave. If I put in a handful of shredded coconut, can I rebuild my dead friends?
Dude, there's a chance. You want to. These things are they are incredible technologies. Far more advanced than the ones you found previously. So
excellent.
There's a chance you will make a living coconut. That's terrifying. Do it,
brothers. Okay, awesome. All right, we will return next week, and I expect it will be our finale as well next session. So we'll probably travel through to the heart of the facility, find what rests there, resolve that, and then look onwards as well, as we'll have a small chance, look at the future of these survivors, if there are any, or at least what marks left on the world. So definitely try and join us live, and yeah, we'll see you then.
Thanks all.